This Honda runs on fuel that costs $2 to $3 a gallon less than gasoline. And the fuel doesn't come from Saudi Arabia, it comes from North America. It works just as well or better than gasoline, and it creates virtually no pollution. You can even fill up your car at home. This Honda Civic GX is an NGV, a natural gas vehicle. Ed Hustis is the Transportation Systems Manager for the city of Vacaville, California. Ed says there's a lot to love about his natural gas car.
This car is so smooth to drive. It is so much fun on long-distance trips that even though it's only marketed as a commuter vehicle, we take it on all of our long-distance trips.
The GX gets superb gas mileage, and in a few parts of the country, natural gas is dirt cheap. During the recent gasoline price spike, when some Americans were paying close to $5 a gallon or more at the pump, compressed natural gas, or CNG, in Oklahoma was selling for 91 cents per gasoline gallon equivalent, and for 64 cents per gallon in Utah. 64 cents.
Our phones and the phones of every one of our companies are ringing off the hook from consumers saying, I want to convert my car.
Richard Kaloje is the president of NGV America, which represents the natural gas vehicle industry.
Transportation is the only market where we've had one fuel. Think about it. In residential, commercial, industrial, power generation, there's multiple fuels for different applications, different parts of the country. Transportation, it's only petroleum. That's over.
But there's a downside to NGVs that have kept them from catching on in a big way. Although all the major auto companies sell NGVs overseas, right now only Honda sells them in the United States. The GX also costs more but is eligible for thousands in federal tax credits. Another downside, the range of the Honda is only about 200 to 250 miles because compressed natural gas takes up more space in the tank than gasoline. So if you want to take a road trip, you have to make sure there are CNG fueling stations along your route. The Norfolk, Virginia Beach area is typical. Just 3 natural gas fueling stations in a metropolitan area of nearly 2 million people. And all of the fueling stations located in industrial areas, not where most people live. You might not be able to fill up your natural gas car at the nearest 7-Eleven, but you can fill it up at home. This little appliance called Fill has made natural gas cars much more appealing.
And this just slides on so easy. You just line it up and just pops. It's ready to go right now, as it is. And then you simply just hit the start button.
Fill allows you to fuel your car from your home's natural gas supply for $1 to $1.50 a gasoline gallon equivalent. You just plug it in and turn it on. It shuts off automatically. Fill costs about $4,000 to install, but in parts of the country you can get a lot of that back in tax credits. The only downside, other than the initial cost of Fill, is that your home natural gas supply is under low pressure. So if your tank is completely empty, it could take as long as 20 hours to fill it. But if you're just commuting to work, you can easily top off your tank overnight. And at natural gas fueling stations, where the fuel is under high pressure, you can fill up in minutes. But until the number of fueling stations grows, experts say natural gas is best suited for large fleets that operate within city limits, like buses, garbage trucks, and other city vehicles. Supply is never a concern with natural gas. North America's proven natural gas reserves are actually growing, as new technology allows us to unlock more gas trapped in coal fields and in shale. But there's a whole lot more natural gas offshore.
There are whole areas of the country that are off limits to even look. Congress has said it's off limits. The whole East Coast, the whole West Coast, all around Florida, and in areas in the Rockies, it's just off limits.
Kaloje says the future of transportation will use a variety of energy sources: petroleum, electric, and natural gas.
There is no silver bullet answer to our transportation problems. We're going to have to use all the fuels for all the different applications.
So natural gas cars may not solve America's energy problem, but they could be a big part of the solution. Dale Hurd, CBN News.